My people, yeah, we made it. We made it. Got my Pakistan drab on today. I just wanted to wear it just because you know, it's mine. And it's mine. Never give up, never quit, never surrender. Something that people aren't often told enough, but are things that they should live by. My definition for the words are often typically around the same gist of the word, but sometimes my definition is different than the definition. When I say give up, I mean to give. Right on? So never give up. Never give what you have up to whatever. I could just put give in, but never give up. Right on? Uh, never give up. When I say quit, I mean to stop. When I say surrender, I mean to allow your persons, okay, to be taken prisoner. I believe in these things more strongly now than ever. You cannot tell me that you believe in democracy and that you believe in a police force. Defunding the police or abolishing them is probably the most realistic thing to do at this point. It's proven nothing. I would get rid of every function that has led us to this point of a brink of nuclear war, so called. Listen to my logic. You can't give up. You can't give up your rights. You can't give up your ability to think. You can't give up your privilege to question, let alone your actual physical life. You cannot quit. You cannot stop being the person that you've had to be in the best ways. The things that do not matter, that will not see, this is the thing. If you will not stop the things that are harmful, and I'm not talking, once again, when I say quit, I'm talking about letting them know what we're after. See, I'm after the Most High God coming back. I'm after a frequency overtaking the people. I will not stop. I will not quit in my pursuit of that. And as far as surrendering goes, to actually let you take me prisoner ever again in my life will never happen. I can guarantee it. I can full blown guarantee it. I can be cooperative without surrendering. We've all watched those movies where somebody looked like, oh, they went, oh man, they're caught now. But there actually was a whole train of thought in mind about what I'm going to do once I get here into this situation. If they allow me into a certain circumstance. I've never exercised those things, so they don't know what I will or what I won't do. I don't believe in quitting. My God is not a quitter. Tired of the people? Yes. Exacerbated from all their exacerbated, you know what I'm saying, from to make things worse. the exacerbation of the people's continuous action of willful negligence or outright treading of the law, the real law, the only law that matters, because all these other laws put them here. And if they were so smart, why didn't they have everybody who talks all this nonsense to me? Don't tell me about white power. I don't want to hear about it. I don't. These dudes are literally mentally retarded. And they're in control because the systems that people who look just like me and you implemented, we showed them everything. We showed them exactly how to keep it right. Because guess who didn't want to get blamed? That's right, a nigga. And then when they stop listening to you and shit start going wrong, and then they want you to fix it, but in a lot of cases, we'd be dead and gone. So now they just have to live with it. Now they trying to figure it out. Where do you think the rush came from to try to figure out how to fix things that went wrong? You guys really don't understand, do you? See, your people never quit in their pursuit of perfection. They never gave up the idea of being truly free, and they never surrendered liberty from their souls. Though our ancestors before them were made to allow captors, buyers, and surveyors alike to trample and walk all over their souls. That you would lay down your soul on the ground for them to walk all over. However, those people never quit. Those people never gave up, never surrendered, never quit, never gave up. They never capitulated, acquiesced. Okay, they never waved the white flag, so to speak, because they knew that there was something coming for them. And all I have to say is this: is that you have so many individuals who believe that in their minds that if they push a certain idea, they call it an agenda. I keep asking the people, no one has yet to answer. What good will a paycheck do if you can't cash it? Number one. So, do you really want reparations in the middle of a so called world war or a conflict that's leaning on global catastrophe? What good will they do you then? No, 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 no. No, truly, tell me, what good will it do you? Flip side, no global war, no nothing like that. They give you reparations. What good will the money do you if you can't protect yourself? They're not talking about making you a nuclear world power right off rip. Literally mentally ill. Literally mentally ill. You would give all these individuals who have no common enemy a common enemy. Imagine this, and this is just Meech thinking, right? Because I know I'm the only one that talks like this. Imagine if they gave all these places reparations just to attack them in the end. Who are you going to spend the money with? Who are you going to spend? Listen to me, brothers and sisters. Who would you spend the money with? Who? They give the Caribbeans reparations. They give all of Africa reparations, right? I'm talking about Europe and anybody that they claim did them wrong. All but the Ruskies and the Chinks, right? And the Ragheads, right? All but them. Follow me. You're telling me what's good, bro? Yeah. You're telling me these people wouldn't attack? You're telling me, hold on, follow me now. They sign it into legislation, put it on paper. Niggas is parading, barbecuing, all that shit, frying fish, whatever you want to say. Oh, they celebrating. They getting real life, tangible money style checks. The question is who's going to stop the earth from overtaking you? Who? Better yet, you said we got guns. Do you have planes? Do you have tanks? Hell, do you even have armored personnel carriers? Do you have light armored personnel carriers? Huh? You have any of that? You got any tow missiles? You got any javelins? Huh? You got 203 grenade launchers anywhere? Right? You got Mark 19 grenade launchers, automatic grenade launchers anywhere laying around? I'm just wondering. Huh? What about rocket launchers? Got any of those? Shoulder launch, right? That blowback. Make sure nobody's in the way. No, nothing? No AT4s, AT5s, nothing? I'm telling you, these guys are literally sick in their heads. They do not understand that their ancestors did, they never gave up, quit, or surrendered for one reason because they had hope that the Most High God would come back. Do you realize how terrifying a Gatling gun was back in the day? I need y'all to understand. See, you've been brought up and inundated in a world full of witchcraft, of wizardry, battle mages who aren't even called battle mages anymore. Your favorite action movies where the guy's using a gun, this nigga's a warlock, whether y'all understand that or not. Right. A battle mage at the top level, but they're at least a warlock. Yep. I'll say battle mage being that they're a person that is not avert to using their hands or whatever other weapon they can get their hands on. But a real life warlock. This is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with witchcraft and sorcery at the highest level. And your ancestors knew that when they were seeing things like Gatling guns. This man is able to take life by rotating in a circular motion and changing the direction of a swivel or a stand or a tripod, whatever it was on back then, that had a complete circular axis so it could go round and round and round if it had to. Understand me. That's magic. Your ancestors knew it was magic. People that created it know it's magic. The Chinese call black powder magic. The freaking Mongoloids had enough sense to know that this shit's not natural. To put it like this, when they use sulfur the same way, it's not natural. Having said that, that's how we know that the earth opened her mouth up to swallow up those people that were rebellious against Moses. It was not an explosion, like fools would have you to believe. Because there is no mentioning of a loud sound, an awful smell, or anything like that. Why be so nondescript when the Most High God had been so descript up until that point, explaining to the people that when they got quail, when the quail flew in and they cooked it and it failed before it even came between their teeth. It gives you that much detail, but wouldn't tell you if there was a loud explosion or a loud sound or an awful smell. No, only that the earth opened up. That being said, and his family went down alive into Hades, not dead. Wow. Never mind that fact. Going forward, back to what we're talking about so people understand the fullness of it. This is magic you're dealing with. You want to get reparations? Okay, you better never give up, quit, or surrender anything. Otherwise, you will be a dead, you know what. How about that part? How about the part where these guys are claiming not to be leaders but want money from you? Stop giving them money if they're not leaders. How the fuck can you tell me you're not a leader, but you need people to appropriate funds for what? Oh, you're a spokesman. A spokesman has a leader. Your ideology is not your leader. It could never work like that. Because an ideology, guess what, can be changed. Much like a leader. This is why you pick a person who follows a rigid way of being. Who they are is who they are. They're never going to change. It doesn't matter what they have. This country ass nigga still gets up and washes his drawers by hand. We're saying, King, you have servants. He's like, I don't trust anybody with my underwear. I'll do it myself. You do not get to pick a speaker for you. That is a representative by default. When Moses told the Most High God that he couldn't speak, God was pissed off. He was like, wow, this nigga. All right, I'm going to have your brother Aaron talk for you then. He'll be like your spokesman, your prophet. I'm going to make you like a god under Pharaoh. I'm moving stuff around, but I'm just telling you what's happening. That man, Moshe, Musa, whatever you want to call it, Moses, I took you out of the water. That's what his name means. He, okay, had to be directed, told what to do. It's not, and he was scared, okay, but he was the leader, okay, and he had a spokesman. Do you understand me? So you literally have a whole thing where people don't see it like that. You're giving money to people who are playing the part of Aaron. Come on, they don't want to hear that. Oh, they did not want to hear. I've always likened them to that. So I always thought that they would be different. They're all my little spokesmen. They have to be. They've taken from me and not said exactly what needs to be said. Right. Much like Aaron. At least Aaron was actually righteous to the degree that the Most High God killed him and not the people. You know, the Gentiles have speculated whether or not Moses and Aaron were both murdered by the people because the niggas that got tired of them, sick of your shit. But we know that's not what happened. I'm the one to say it because I'm not as scared or afraid to say it. I have to say it. It's only right that I say it. Moses never gave up, quit, or surrendered. I just don't know. I could go back to a whole bunch of characters in the Bible. I could even talk about the first act of rebellion coming from that. Want to know what it is? We all know what it is. The first physical act of known rebellion against the Creator. From one Adam, Amun. Some call him Amen. Uh-oh. And he would attempt to undermine his own creation by bringing death upon himself through his psyche of desire. This same desire, this same genetic manifestation would take place in his clone called Eve. And Eve, or Zoe, or Isha, would then go on to be deceived by a serpent. And the serpent would say, what? Surely you will not die if you eat of this fruit. So they never gave up. Listen, Adam, I said all that to say this. Adam never gave up, never quit, never surrendered to the Most High God on the idea that you should not eat this fruit. Come on, hear me now. See, they're not deep like this. They don't have a story and a story and a story. But the Most High God, come on, let me tell a little piece about him real quick while I'm saying this. He never, that's right, gave up, quit, or surrendered on mankind in the total knowing that he knew what people could and would become with it if and such the wrong influences would take place and take hold on this earth. And they did. And they have. And they will continue to until he sends the forces that are meant to save the people. See, I believe in something that is greater than myself. See, I went to the military, right? And they always taught you to believe in something greater than yourself. It's hard for people who have never been a part of a group bigger than them to understand it's bigger than you. For me to believe in the Most High God is bigger than me or anyone else that I know or the whole total group of us combined. He's that special. He's that awesome. He never gave up, quit, or surrendered his creation to damnation forever or to an obsoleteness that could not be undone, even by his own hands, or would take so long, it seems like it's an infinity. That kind of power, my friends. You say no one man should have all of it, but one being does. And what are you going to do about it? Absolutely nothing. That's what I thought. So when people tell me that we need reparations and we need this and we need that, what else do you need? Because you need armament to protect yourself. How can you guarantee they will honor the money? How can you guarantee the money will come at a time where the money can be honored at the rate that it is now? Not at some inflationary rate where the money is basically worthless. How can you guarantee it? How can you guarantee if other nations get their reparations that other hostile and close proximity nations won't attack them? How can you guarantee it? You can't. And they're praying to the spirit of a wicked devil who lives in a statue, who is idle, who can do no thing for them. My God lives. Because I'm living right now, I can speak on the fact that he lives. When I die, I can't speak to that anymore. That's the greatness that I have right now, is to speak on the fact that the living God is real. And that he didn't do what? He never gave up, quit, or surrendered on Demetrius Antoine Jones, born of Clan Griffin, born of wherever. Can you dig it? All the way from Mississippi and Alabama, the deep dirty, baby. Up here in the Northwest. Don't know how I got here. Don't know how my parents ended up here, other than he brought them here. How about that? just so that way I could say this to the people. Rehab is for quitters. The Most High God could never go to rehab. He's like, I love him too much. I'm never giving him up. It'd be the death of me type of thing. I love him too much, even though he can't die. Not my mind, not my. He's invulnerable, immortal, all that. Invincible. He's everything. Ever living. Eternal and internal. That's why the unrighteous hate him, because they can feel that spirit in them that compels them to do the right thing. And then when they don't do it, he puts them in a position to die. This is why he wants none to die, because all could, if they chose to turn from their wickedness, it's a choice. It's not you do not have to be like this by design. Even if you're designed to be messed up. But you choose not to do the right thing. So that's what puts you there. Nothing else. And they hate him because he gives them a choice. He gives them an opportunity. And what do? They spit in his face. First chance they get, spit in his face. That is how they feel about him. You gonna fight for reparations where they might just murder you? For real, for real? I mean, be real with me. Are you gonna do that? Right. I'm the type of I'm the kind of person. I already told people, unless I get a trillion, it's not right. I I don't need nothing but a trillion. Give me my whole T in front of that alien and a R. I yes, yes, it's only right. You spent 31 of them this year. You could have gave me one this year. You spent like 25 last year. You could have gave me one last. All these years you've been spending trillions. You could have gave me one already. Whenever you get done, you've spent them worse ways. That's how I can. That's my justification. Fuck everything else. You've spent them worse ways. Could have easily gave. At least I'm saying I need a trillion. Ain't nobody else saying it but me. They talk about a 8 trillion, 20 trillion for the group. Just man, fuck that. I need a trillion. I can't speak for nobody else, but I know what I need. I know what my pain and suffering is worth. I know what my reparations, my restitution, okay, my repatriations are worth. If yours ain't worth that, that's too damn bad. But you better go back and get on that calculator, okay, and redo that math. I think you were a few zeros short. My personal take on the matter. Like I said before, and if you think this shit's a fucking joke, you think these niggas talk about black empowerment, they ain't got shit stronger than what the fuck I'm saying right now. Nigga, you owe us forever. Forever. That's black empowerment. You owe every one of us a trillion. We'll see you. We'll see you when we see you. Please. That's black empowerment. Like, I'm him. I'm the nigga to say it. Fuck that weak ass shit they talking about. Talking about what's realistic. Nigga, what's realistic is your bitch ass was a slave. Your people was a slave. That's realistic, nigga. And how much money did they make off of one person before discarding them and throwing them away, nigga? Like a dirty cigarette, bro. Like a broken toy. Fuck that. Nigga, my shit's worth a trillion. After slavery, how did they treat your people? Huh? Huh? You talk about be realistic? You fuck nigga, I am being realistic. I'm toning it down. At least I'm not asking for 10 trillion. Right. That's why I laughed when I said this shit at first, because I'm like, fuck. If I say some dumb shit, these niggas gonna just think I'm retarded. Right. I need a trillion. If you don't think your shit's worth a trillion, guess who that's on? That's nigga, I'm never gonna motherfucking give up, quit, or surrender on my demands. Believe that. Brothers, I know, I know, and I know. Right. And this is the point though. When is it going to be okay for people to just be like, you know what? You can't put them all in a box. If we don't put all them in a box, you can't put all of us in a box. And if you put us in a box, put us in a different box. I'm waiting for my I'm waiting for him to come and cash in his voucher, bro. I hope he got a voucher for Meeks up there. I hope they ain't burnt it up saying this nigga's tripping. I hope they got a voucher for me up there. I hope they got a voucher for all of us, man. I'll take a shack in heaven. Forget a mansion. Forget a room in the mansion. Okay? Look, nigga, cut the resources, cut the tangibles. If they can't cut the check, cut that. Cut the granite slabs. Nigga, cut the motherfucking bronze mines, okay? Cut the Gibraltar motherfucking mines and shit like that, right on? The lithium mines. Yeah? Yeah? Nigga, let me get into some of that pink salt on top of the ground and underneath it. Huh? Let me get some of that black salt. Let me touch some of that non-purified gold. We'll purify it, we'll take care of it. Let me touch some of that silver, some of that carbuncle, some of them rubies and them emeralds and them sapphires, right? Right? Some of them jades, talking about that amber, right? I need all that. I need the nickel. You know I need it. I want to touch it. Whatever tritium is, I need some of that too. Yeah. Yeah, we need it, brother. Yeah, you need some plutonium just because. Just because. For no other reason. Huh? Right. Whatever they call yellow cake. You need it. I need it. It's worth something. Give it to me. Fuck that. They in here playing games with people, man. I'm saying it for real. All these other niggas is talking that bullshit. I'm saying it for real. Give it, because the check might not get us that. I need nuclear proliferation right now. Straight up. We need the most sound minds in the room, the most able, capable people who never get rattled in the situation. If you can't have me in the room, I won't be in the room. Right on. If you think I'm gonna run and try to hit the red button, get me out the room. Whatever. But nigga, I'm saying, don't play with me. Right on? Because we need that. That's us. I'm saying that's real reparations. Never give up, quit, or surrender on that. The Israelis didn't do anything to earn nukes. They just gave these niggas nukes. What the fuck? The Indians, what did anybody who has nukes, what did they really do, man, to have them? Nothing. They didn't do no kind of real hard work. The hard work they claim they did, man. Look at all these places that are falling down around the earth, man. That shit is crazy. Right. Every time an earthquake hit that part of the earth. And I be thinking that's why they use that weather. That's why they use them weather machines to keep it from happening over there. But when it reverberates back, right? Part of me believes that that earthquake that happened, where was that at? Was that Turkey? What little spot was that, man, where the earthquake happened that earlier this year? Killed like 200,000 people, 100,000 people. You know that these dudes is doing something wicked. They don't deserve none of that, but they will tell me and you, man, that we gotta go and jump through a hoop, bro, to get a voucher so you can get a free meal tonight. Not for the rest of the year, tonight. You gotta fill out all this paperwork, piss in a cup, give them your social, tell them your job history, all kinds of shit, just to get a biscuit, nigga. This shit is crazy. And then, but this is for real though. But they'll tell me and you, right, that that's what you have to do. I'm not complaining. I'm not a victim. We are the victims. We are collectively as a group. We are the victims of a mass, still in progress genocide against the people that has yet to be brought forth because they have yet to do a study on the impact of slavery on the people. When they do it, not if, when. I'm speaking that into existence. When they do the real study for Black people and say, hey, what's really wrong with them? They say, okay, we get it now. This man's people own land. They used to do shit. They had shit. Think about that. Think about that. They had things. They had things. And this land, so-called of opportunity, robbed them of the same opportunity that they fought, bled for, cried for, sweated for, they toiled for, just for somebody who felt that they shouldn't have it, rip and take it from them. See, this is why white folks don't rock with other white folks all the time. Whenever there's a white dude who done married a Black chick or let his white daughter get married to a Black dude, and he's all the way from a poly purebred family, know this for a fact. When he's not no bigot, he don't use the N-word, will knock another white dude's head smooth off, or the white chick will take another white chick's head smooth off over this shit. Know for a fact that their family came from a bloodline of people who seen the wrong happen to your people. They're not just always, oh, they might be a partner. No, they seen it and was like, damn, this man did everything right. He's followed the laws. He's been cordial. He's been amicable. Right. That man never gave up, never quit, never surrendered, despite all odds. And that should have been an inspiration for people that if this man, who came from the most meager, humble beginnings, could make it happen, right? That all others could make it happen. Think about that. That's like stealing hope from people. So that's a reminder to the other white dudes that, man, even if we get so high up, they'll take it from us. They'll just snatch this shit out your hands and tell you you did something wrong. I love how they say empirical evidence, empirical evidence, empirical evidence. That is one of the most overrated terms ever. And I'm going to tell you why. Because anytime there has been a clandestine mission taken out, conducted, failed, or successful, that right there undoes empirical evidence. There's no, so just because there's no monitored history for it, you cannot say it's never happened, is my point in reference. These people have been here, whatever you want to call them, Gentiles, people, whatever, they've been here doing so much fucked up shit for so long that the other ones who come here, right, they'll go along to get along. But the ones that have really been here for a while, they know better. They're like, nah, man, nah. Nah, because It's not just about blood feuds. It's about know that that racist white dude right there got two black baby mamas, right on, and all of his sons are rapists, bona fide rapists. But they don't rape black women exclusively. Nope, they love raping white women, and they putting babies into all these white chicks. And these little rapist dudes are still running around to this day, and y'all running around, and people be wondering how this culture has permeated because they never quit. I mean, excuse me, they never gave up, quit, or surrender. They never did none of that. Right. On their stance. So we can't on ours either. We know who we are now. We have an idea. We know we're not Africans. We know that. Right on. Doesn't matter where they brought you from. There's people that live in Africa that are not from Africa now. So does that make them African? No, no, no. Let that sink in for a second. There's individuals that call themselves Arabs and all other sorts of groups that have been there for a long time, over 100 years, hundreds of years in some cases, 1,000 or better documented in others. And yet they still have their own cultural identity. You're telling me for a fact, like without question, empirical evidence, you can prove that we are undoubtedly indigenous to that land. See, like I said before, there was nobody talking about genotypes or phenotypes before me. There wasn't one. Maybe in, what they call regular YouTube, but in this NigTube sector, no, not one. There wasn't one, not before me, not explaining what I was explaining, right? Now you got all these dudes trying to, because they all done been here. They all done went to Meech University real quick. They took notes and they said, man, yeah, I'm out of here. I'm gonna just drop out. Do my own thing. And it's cool. Because they were already major in their own rights. I just gave them that extra boost that nobody could give them. They needed it. I'm like a ghostwriter that doesn't know he's a ghostwriter. I didn't know they was rocking with your boy like that until I started talking all this shit. And then they started saying slick shit back. And then I'm like, oh, hold on. Thought you niggas wasn't watching. Right? I thought y'all wasn't taking from the plate. But they're gonna take from this too, because that's what they do. They're not thieves. I don't mind people coming to get a meal, man. Everybody should eat. Word. And I don't mind nobody sharing a meal. But look at man, and look, don't ever say that Meats didn't give you certain ingredients and be like, nah, it's the same ingredients, but use more of this and less of this. Right? Or just take this out all the way and add this to it. And Meats is gonna do the same thing. If you tell me something, I'm gonna do that. I always give look. My boy Leonard Judah years ago was breaking down how King Saul, son of Kish of the tribe of Benjamin, the least family of the least tribe, was anointed, right? Can you dig it? And he was just trying to break down how people overlook that concept of being anointed. Right on? He was chosen to do that job. And sometimes people forget that. Right on? Being anointed. Right. See, bro, once again, I don't have all the way elephant memory, but I got a cold memory up there. Right? I got a cold memory. I pray for my brother Nubly all the time. I want him to, get back all the way to, fit fighting form on him. I know they don't want no problems anyway, but yeah, I I desire that. Other people say things and don't mean it. There could be. That's why I know it's the few, the proud for real. A small unit cohesion is going to win this war. I'm not saying it's going to be any one of us that's going to do it, but I do believe that the people that I've been dealing with are going to be a part of whatever happens in the end. And just play your part the best you can. And that's all that's gonna matter. Like it's God is gonna take us through this thing. He's been taking us through it. He's been getting us through it. He's gonna take us through it. I know I'm not supposed to wear a multicolored garb, but we ain't supposed to wear cotton either. You know, they make us do these things. This is wool. This garb is wool, by the way. Right on. It's from Pakistan. But I couldn't help but to get it. I just liked it. Not to change subjects, but still back to the anointed. There are people that are chosen. Shaul, to a fault, never gave up, never quit, never surrendered. To a fault. To a fault. To a fault, he done this. But even in his fault, when the Amalekite, I can't think of his name, he was the armor bearer of Shaul. And correct me if I'm wrong, when he went to David to almost to be braggadocious, to say that he killed Shaul. And remember, the law tells a man not to perjure himself, not to lie on himself. And remember, he tells David that he slew him. And David pretty much says to the effect that you thought it would be good to kill the anointed. You thought that's a good thing. And David told somebody to go kill him right then and there. I'm paraphrasing the whole little thing that happened. There's more context than that, but still, the real nitty grit is you're not really one of us. You're an Amalekite, and you're telling me that you killed a man that was anointed by God, as opposed to telling David that Shaul killed himself, which would have been what would saved his life. As opposed to telling the truth. The moral of the story is tell the truth, no matter how bad you think it sounds. Because if they persecute you, God is going to have justice and vengeance for you anyway. Right. You know what's crazy? If King David, and I'm not excusing nothing, the anointed King David, right? Because he was anointed like Shaul, but Shaul was anointed first. The first tribe to ever hold true kingmanship over all the tribes comes from the baby tribe, the youngest tribe. That's right. The first ever king over Israel was from the least tribe, as far as age is concerned. A lot of people don't talk about that. They don't look at that. That's why the Benjamites are a major factor right now. A lot of people don't know a Benjamite from a Jehudite. They can't tell, but I can. They're much more savage. Much more savage. They're like that, like they have that younger brother overprotective. You know how like the younger ones will grow up to be protective of the older ones, right on? Even though the older ones can still take care of themselves, but the young motherfucker's a bad motherfucker though. Excuse my language. Yeah. It's like that with Benjamin. Benjamin's a complete all out psycho. So I typically look out for the niggas that are all the way off the Richter, off the hinges. I'm like, that dude's probably a Benjamite, more than likely. Right on. Especially if they're amongst the people and they're low downtrodden. Yeah. They're not the stranger within. Yeah. They're low downtrodden, thinking that dude's a Benjamite. Maybe not pure blooded, but he probably got a lot of that in him. Because Judah's an elder tribesman. The elder tribesmen have elder blood. The elder blood means that you naturally approach situations differently. Right on? Because you're the elder. I'm trying to break it down to the people. Right on? So if you guys already know this, I'm not telling you nothing new. But if you don't know this, I'm breaking it down from a not just birthing order, but from a basic psychological standpoint. When you have somebody who's from a certain birthing order, they act upon that birthing order because they're taught who they are, number one. And then they continue to teach this. So while people were enslaved, there were certain habits that certain people exhibited and always practiced forever. So the Levites among the people were always priest-like, always. The Jehuda, all the people can be leader-like, but the people that are, this is why people always try to accuse me of being a Levite, but I'm like, there's no proof, there's no evidence of that, none whatsoever. I would think I'm a hodgepodge like anybody else because in my family, and I admit it directly, there's a white woman 3 generations back on my father's side. So, and then on my mother's side, her grandmother, her excuse me, yeah, her grandmother on her mother's side is a full blown dark skinned black native. So I'm not going to sit here and try to act like, oh, I'm just full. I'm full. No, I'm not. You know what I mean? I'm not stupid. But at the same time, I'm saying that people try to accuse or try to put certain things on me, but I know who I am. I'm me, right on? And I know how to explain this to the people because they need to hear it. The younger could be telling this to the elders, and the elders could be telling this to the younger. So it doesn't really matter who I am in that sense. It just matters that I'm saying it. And the elder blooded people have always been able to be more even killed. The elder people are always more even killed than the younger people, almost always. You will never find a situation where a young person has more sense than the elder person. Almost never. Like we're talking about like real life, unless it's like a little child who is not overwhelmed by whatever's going on, they can tell you what's what. But I say these things to say this. The elders tribe blood people are in the people. The youngest tribe blood people are in the people. The strangers are within you. The youngest tribe took the throne first, and one of the elder tribes took the throne latter. That's why Judah was able to be. This is why the kings of Judah, an elder tribe, and then over all of the rest of Israel, all the other tribes, right? Or save for Benjamin and Levi. This is why this happens. Right. The youngest brother, baby boy, stays with one of the elder brothers. And Levi is unincorporated with any of them. This is deep. This is so. Anyway, I just, I don't want you guys to ever give up, quit, or surrender your understanding of what the Most High God has given you. He's given me a blessing. I've been given a treasure trove of understanding, and I use these titles that are ambiguous sometimes to really get my real points across. Because it's not just about what it seems like. It's a it's more than that. If you quit on yourself, you do realize you have no one else to blame. Right. See, they don't call it giving up or surrendering a job. They call it quitting a job. Understand? It's for a reason. They don't call it giving, I mean, excuse me, they call it giving up your children, not quitting your children or surrendering your children. Can you hear me? They call it surrendering your rights, not quitting your rights, not giving up your rights all the time. Now, sometimes they call it giving up your rights, but typically it's called a surrender of rights. You know what I'm saying? But when you, and it just depends on what state you're in, I guess, or what kind of locale you're in, but still, you can give up rights or surrender rights, but they're not exactly the same. Uh, when you surrender something, it's done for. That's it. I've known people who've given up their rights for several things and gone back to go get those rights. You know what I'm saying? You surrender your rights to bear arms. I don't. You give up your rights to your children. There's differences. You know what I'm saying? Like there's subtle nuances, as Andre would say, but there's differences. And this is where we're at. Man, I just before I get off here in a couple minutes, man, I like to try to get people through that part, that that tough part of the day sometimes. Because I be talking what people think is shit, but I don't be talking a lot of shit. I talk a lot of shit, but I don't talk a lot of shit. I don't be talking shit to people. I just talk the most to them, to the powers that be. Because I know that there's other people who don't love us. I love us. I'm gonna go all the way for us. I'm fighting the case for us right now, even though the us is an African us, and I'm not sure I should have put my neck on the line for him, but where he at now? Nowhere. Nigga never even came to say thank you. Never tried to reach out to none of my people because he could have reached out to my people and been like, "Hey man, who was that dude that was here that one night? Yeah, man. Hey, I want to thank that brother, man." See, but he was scared though. But then again though, he might have been an undercover cop, man. When I think about this shit, you know what I mean? Or paid informant or something like that. They might have used that dude just knowing that how I was gonna act about it. They used me against me. You know what I mean? Like that's just me. This is my really my first time ever really perceiving that. Truth be told, in over 5 years, I don't think I ever pondered that that dude was placed there and put there by the police. Never. Now I'm gonna look into that. See, this is why I love talking about never giving up, never quitting, never surrendering, because it makes my mind percolate and think about things that I'm real enough to tell you. At 32, I pray to get to 33, baby. I'm still a young man, but I'm not a young man anymore. But I'm a young man in the real world, and I'm trying to hit my stride, man. I'm just not. I'm about to take off. I feel it. I feel it. I feel like the time is almost there. They can only keep me in the wraps for so much longer because I'm about to make my own noise. I'm not afraid. Fentanyl killed my father. Right on. The city didn't do nothing about it. The county didn't do nothing about it. The state ain't gonna do nothing about it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm a sound the drum on why foreigners are dangerous. Word, all foreigners, even black foreigners. I'm gonna start sounding the drum. Right on, nigga. If you're not from a colony from the United States or some kind of province or some stuff like that, nigga, you can't really be. And if other places can get there, you can't really be trusted at all like that because they're the ones bringing the shit in. You know what I mean? Like if you really want to talk the truth and tell the truth, we gotta really start saying it and believing it for what it is. We can't be afraid. You know, they're the ones bringing in all the dope. They're the ones bringing in all the dope. You got some niggas driving south of the border, but it's been so dangerous. Niggas ain't doing that shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? The plug is bringing it up. You feel me? And we'll meet at a close somewhere to a border town, but we're not about to meet over in Mexico unless we got it good like that, you know? I'm speaking a little bit of Spanish to you. You speaking a little bit of English to me. Everything is cool. Boom, I'm good. You got the border agent paid up, so we can fume right through this bitch and everything is straight. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Yep. Straight up, bro. Straight up. Man, we work for a living, man. I always think it's funny, I worked in Seattle for years, right? And you know what I'm saying? I'm at this little Italian spot right now called Macaluso. Where are my little flashcards at? They must be behind here somewhere. Anyway, I gotta find my little flashcards. I got these flashcards, right? And they're from my job, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, see, yeah, bro. Yeah, that's how they do it. But look, man. So let me piggyback that, or but let me get on the what I'm saying, the side of that real quick and boost it up. Let me put you on my shoulders for a second, big guy. Check this out. Check this out. What you just said, real talk. They just built several different apartment housing projects around where I live, like a couple miles up the road, a couple miles back that way, and like one that's just like half a block up from here. All of them are in it. You know what I'm saying? The people who just came from south of the border got nothing but them in it. You know what I'm saying? The truth be told, I think the dude that works the maintenance here, I think he's an illegal. You know what I'm saying? I think he's illegal. He's cool though. You know what I mean? I don't got nothing against him. But you feel me? Like nigga, if I was in your country like that, y'all might want to expel me. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you feel me? Y'all might want to get rid of me. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm for real, bro. Like this shit is for real, man. I was driving up the street the other day. I was going so before I got this job, right? Because I was trying to figure out where it was at. I was driving up the street, boom, and out the place, I see the little Mexican lady painting. And I'm like, what the fuck is she doing painting? I mean, like, you gotta realize, man, growing up, I mean, I seen men doing painting jobs and all that. I never seen no females out there like that. Every once in a while you see a chick, but not really. Her dad must be a painter and must need her that day, like hella bad. One of his dudes got sick, or it's a small project, or it's friend of the family type of stuff. But man, when I seen the little Mexican chick out there and I seen her little son helping, I was like, oh yeah, that's for them. Right on. I already know who that's for. So I don't be sweating it. I just be like, these niggas is greasy because they'll do that. They had that kind of program for them, bro. For just for them, bro. Separate. And I'm not mad about it. I'm just like, damn, like, nigga, we can't go down there and get nothing like that. And that shit is whack because everybody tries to say what they did, but it's like you were never a slave. You don't come from people that were slaves. It's different. Like when the real dudes come here from other places and they know what it's like because where they're from is racist, they don't act stupid. Right on. They know what's up. They know who butters their bread for real. They know black people will always keep you in the game. That's on everything. This is why you got all these dudes who are from the islands who ingratiated themselves to Black American culture. All these dudes from Africa who ingratiated themselves to Black American culture that have had and still have successful independent businesses in the Black community. They've been able to spread out abroad and get some of that white money and whatever else, that Asian money and that Middle Eastern money whenever they can. That Hispanic money every once in a while, but really it's just Black money that keep them afloat. Black people pay good money. We pay better than everybody else. When it's all said and done, Black people pay more for what they want than anyone else. Straight up. Like if you talk about like if it's nice, you say you want $100 a plate. Okay, I can only come here. I can only afford to come here 3 times a year. If you broke nigga, right? If you got money, you like shit. I can come here, nigga, once a week. Every day if I want to, but I come here once a week and not really hurt myself. You know what I'm saying? Like it's nothing. What's $100? Nothing. But for niggas that ain't got it like that, they like shit. I can save up the money, take my girl here for $100 a plate. Man, this shit is proper. I get what I want, nigga. I get an entree. I'm taking desserts. I get a whole dessert to take home anyway. These niggas is bringing out motherfucking champagne or wine and shit, man. It's come on, man. I'll spend $300 between me and my lady, and tip another 50 to these people. You feel me? Like 60 to these people, whatever. Like that's when like even broke niggas have money. Is what I'm trying to say. Like broke people, who would you call broke, have money, right on. So they spend that shit, nigga. They want nice shit too. They want to go somewhere nice. They want to experience that shit. They want to see what the hubbub is all about. So I got to say this: you shall not be hoodwinked, had, you know what I'm saying, or hornswoggled. Okay, we none of that. You know what I'm saying? we won't be none of that. So we're gonna keep the fight up. We're gonna keep the fight up. And we got to keep our minds up and our strength up. And these little foreign people that are over here, we got to watch them and just say, don't be hateful towards them, but at the same time, if they do some shit that's out of line, you feel me? You got to G check them and just let them know, like, bro, you can't do that. I would never go to where you're from and do that to you. I would never undermine you like that. Like I had to tell the little dudes trying to sell bacon wrap hot dogs, like, bro, you legally cannot sell a bacon wrap. You legally in Seattle, right on. You cannot sell bacon wrapped hot dogs. In Tacoma, you can't do it. You can do it in a building. You cannot do it on a hot dog cart. Let me explain why. Just to have the license, and a lot of people don't know this kind of shit, right? You know, as a street vendor, man, you can make anywhere from 50 grand to a quarter mil a year. You know what I mean? Depending on where you're at. You know, the dudes up in there in Seattle making a quarter mil, niggas down here in Tacoma might make 50. But you cannot sell a raw to ready. There's raw foods and there's ready to eat foods. You cannot cook them on the same apparatus. Right on. These dudes come here, right? And they'll do shit like do the bacon wrap dog, right? Boom. Niggas get sick, but then they want to blame the other regular hot dog vendors who are selling regular hot dogs that don't got none of that bullshit on there. Then the health department got to come out there and look at everybody's stuff. You got to have a sink that's operating. You got to have overhead for your food so that way birds can't defecate in it. You know what I'm saying? You got to have coverings for the food so that way flies and shit like that don't get in. Like there's a lot of little stuff you're supposed to have that people, from another place are going to shirk the rules on. That's just one example. Another example is like in the construction industry right now, right? And I might have to go by and do some videos about it so that way you guys can see what I'm talking about. They've built every apartment all looks the same, but they all have the same people building them, if you know what I'm saying, right? So, and these are the kind of places that if you look at them, they're not structurally sound for the environment. Like if an earthquake were to hit, they're going down. Like they're for sure going down. Uh, I love talking about everything with my people. I really do. The African, the Mexican, the Asian, the Islander, all of them who come here. I'm talking when I say island, I'm talking about like niggas who are from like non-American colony provinces, right on. You feel me? You know, and then the niggas who come from these direct little islands, like motherfucking Jamaica and shit like that, who come up here tripping, acting like niggas ain't never did shit for themselves. It's like, look, homie, I can't go to your shit and get it the same way, bro. You need to chill. But they don't understand that. They're saying that we're wasting an opportunity, but nah, it's not that simple. Like you can't, you're oversimplifying. Like I said, where's the study that's been done on the mindset of people after slavery? It's never been done. I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna get my own little census popping. I figure if I get 1,000 people, all I gotta do is just buy a couple of. Already got the GoPro. Right on. I got the GoPro. Got that. All I need to do now is just figure out where I want to go to get these stories done at. Right on. Because I don't want them just done just here. And I would like for people like all over. I gotta find out how to like get into contact with like black people from all over. I don't want to do the Twitter stuff, all that weird shit. I want to just find out like a grassroots way of doing it and get in contact with people and just have them tell their story, on the camera, have them send it to me, boom, and for a 10-minute piece, man, give them like $20. You know what I'm talking about? You just tell me about your life. You tell me about your life for 10 minutes, I give you $20. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So that'll be some money. I'm gonna spend that out. I'm gonna make sure I get my little receipts to everybody. Boom, boom, boom. Keep my receipts and stuff like that. And then yeah, I'm gonna do a different little study about this, man, because I just think that it's overlooked, it's underappreciated, you know, I don't really care for the opinions of outsiders, therefore I won't ask them. Their 2 cents will be given for free. Does that make sense? But everybody else who's really one of the people, it's like 20 racks. That ain't that much money. I can do that over the next year and a half and not really hurt my pockets. And I'm just gonna keep tally of it. I gotta go buy a little journal and shit. But I'm gonna try to get a few hundred of them done out here. You know what I'm saying? And for the people who won't take the money, I'm gonna try to do something for them. You know, because it's 10 minutes of their time. You feel me? $20. Fuck it. I mean, you know, what I'm saying? You can't lose. Like I'd rather pay them for their time. It's worth something, isn't it? You know, they say I'll only take $5, whatever, but I'm gonna still offer them 20 because I just think that's gonna make most of them motivated to tell me their little piece. Right on. And I'm gonna tell them, look, keep all political affiliations or whatever you think out the way. Just tell me your life. Care about the other stuff. You know, I want to know about their life because that's what's really gonna matter. A lot of people ain't never. A lot of people don't know anybody that knows Dr. King or that was with him or that that was in the same area that was grew up around him. Like a lot of people don't have those kind of stories. Like, I still know people that are alive to this day, right on, that grew up, like close to where Coretta Scott King grew up. I'm talking about like real life nigga shit. Like my grandmother grew up right around where she grew up at. I'm not bullshitting. So it's like it's different for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm closer connected to a lot of this stuff than people could ever even imagine. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm way closer connected to all this shit. Like I just don't act like that because it's not nothing to be braggadocious about. Like I said, King had a criminal record for all intents and purposes, arrest record, whatever you want to call it. I have a criminal record. I just don't have a conviction record. It's a difference. I know. I do. Being accused of the crime, right on, it goes to your criminal record. It's not like, oh, this is just a record of accusations. No, it's a criminal record. Your arrest record, right on, and criminal record are not one and the same, but they're typically synonymous. Sometimes they arrest you and let you go because they realize they don't got shit. But typically, if they arrest you and they charge you, that's a criminal record, right on. You know what I'm talking about? My crimes are a little more different than King's, but nonetheless, freedom fighting out here for the people. And I seen dude the other day that I put the hands on. You know what I'm saying? And he made me defend myself though. So it's like, bro, you know what I mean? When you get done talking, like he was my my bro Steven was leaving. He going back to I believe his birthplace, so his baby boy can be born there. Congratulations to him. And Steven's walking out the front door. Boom. And I'm saying peace to him. And the dude is there with like a bucket and like a paint roller or something in his hand. And I'm like, come on. He's like, nah, man. You fucked my shit up. And I'm like, I didn't even respond to him when he said that. I was like, you coming or not? He's like, no. I was like, psh. So I just let the door close, got on the elevator going back up. Bam. Right on. Boom. That simple. Went to the crib. All right. Y'all got me arrested. Y'all, you nigga, you didn't go to solitary confinement, nigga. I did. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't make you do a strip search, nigga. They made me do a strip search. Even though you choked me, I didn't even try to choke you. You should have been the one that was arrested for assault in the second degree, possibly assault in the first. You know what I'm saying? Trying to kill me, nigga. You tried to kill me. They don't have to charge you with attempted murder charges, nigga. with the assault in the first, right on. Even if he didn't, my hand is still, healing from the. I mean, I'll sock a nigga, but my shit is still. It's not how I want it to be. I can just, I can feel it. So I'm like, nah. But that's the kind of shit I'm talking about. It's like, you act like you're the only one that lost some of their vitality. You know what I mean in that situation. You really tried to hurt me, dude. You know what I'm talking about? Like you really tried to hurt me, for real, for real. But I didn't give up, quit, or surrender, so you couldn't do nothing. But the point being is that I was arrested, even though the police came here and didn't even ask for my side of the story. Didn't even try to get my side of the story. Just took three white people's side and just said, "Fuck it, we gonna put out an award arrest for assault in the second degree." Not knowing if this dude went into his house and pulled his teeth out or whatever, because I didn't see him spit no teeth out or nothing. Word, I didn't see it, but I did see his teeth was missing. His shit was fucked up. Right on, fucked up. You know, so it is what it is. But they tried to fucking lie, and he really got off easy. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even think. I'm trying to tell you, I really don't think I hit him that hard, and my hand is hurt, like I said, from wrenching. This nigga tried to put me in a rear naked, nigga, and I had to like wrench my fucking fingers as hard as I could and just force my way up. And he tried to like crush my shit on the way out, like as I was squeezing my head out, and boom, getting up out of there. Like I'm filthy. You know what I'm saying? Like I know what I'm doing. Dudes be like, oh, somebody stronger would have got you. I'm like, nah, because I would have did some dirty shit then. But if I know I can get up out this shit, then I'm not gonna do nothing that's gonna really hurt you. You know what I mean? But nigga, I'll put my fucking thumb in your nostril, nigga, and rip that bitch right through if I have to. Some straight. It's ugly. It gets like that, y'all. If somebody really has you in the rear naked, you typically can reach up to their face. Typically, in a real life fight, this isn't a UFC fight. If you have to turn your hands around, whichever hand you can reach the most with is the hand you go with, right on? So if they got you with your left hand trapped, go with your right hand. If they got you with your right hand trapped, go with your left hand. And you get all the way up under their nose, you feel me? And you try to rip that motherfucker off. Does that make sense? Because sometimes if you can't get your hand up under there and they got you in a real life choke, this is some real life nasty shit, but this is that killer shit. And I'm just telling y'all. And I didn't do nothing like that to him. You feel me? And it's highly effective. Once you press on somebody, once you have your fingers in their nose and they can only breathe in their mouth, but you're literally trying to rip their shit, woo, over, 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 over. And they can say they're gonna reach their head back and do this and this and this, but the position we were in, he couldn't escape something like that. Right on. I could have possibly hit him with a reverse fish hook, you know, but nothing like that had to be administered. So I'm just talking to y'all about this stuff because it needs to be spoken on, needs to be made a verbal record. But that's how you win. And I didn't motherfucking get up and try to break his neck like he did, anyway. Anytime somebody tries to break your neck and you don't try to break theirs, you're a good person, I think. At least you're better than them. Before I leave out, this is what I have to say. They're never going to get the reparations that they think they're going to get. And when they do get it, nobody's going to be there to protect them. Your AR cannot protect. You have two hands. That's it. I cannot stress this shit to you niggas enough. You're not shooting at paper targets. When motherfuckers are shooting back at you, they're not paper fucking targets. Can you hear me? There somebody shooting back that has the same potential to kill you like you to kill them. So you cannot act like you can't get it or like, oh, what I got, That's why I laugh when these little dudes be like, man, they got the switch or they got the whatever on it. Bro, that man, niggas like that is still getting their whole heads knocked off with pea shooters, with 22s and deuce fives and tray deuces. You know what I mean? Still getting their ways pushed back. Right. Because them old school street niggas don't need all that to get you. I just get right up on you, get close to you, up that bitch, and then let you have it. Right. This bitch only holds 7, but you ate all 7 to your neck, chest, and face. You out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoever that is, they out of here. I'm saying you figured I'm not talking about to none of us, but I'm saying you out of here, man. So they're playing that game, but that shit is real life. And that's why I be looking at these guys like, man, don't play that game, man. Like, don't be stupid because there's people that I don't have to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? To nobody ever a day in my life like that. You know, I don't have to call the police for nobody to be harmed like that. It's like that. Really, like really, really. Like there's people that will do violence on my behalf if I even just hint to having a problem. So it's like that's why I laugh. You know, I ain't did nothing to nobody. I ain't gonna do nothing to nobody. I don't have to. I'm gonna defend myself, but I don't. If I go on the offense, it's because this individual did something that was offensive. You feel me? That's it. That's it. That's all. I'm not. I'm not gonna apologize. I'm not gonna apologize. I'm not. You better not apologize. You better not give up, quit, or surrender ever. It's your life. I cannot stress this enough. It's your life. You can be seen as anointed amongst the people. It's your chance and choice. These guys talking about necromancy, about the ancestors and all that weird shit. Them niggas are not anointed. Them niggas is doing some ritualistic, funny shit in their houses that you can't see off those cameras. Off these cameras, them niggas is in that back room cutting chickens and doing seances and weird shit. Believe that. Nigga tell you that they don't drink, don't smoke, don't snort, don't do none of that, don't inject, don't nothing. They don't even gamble. You don't chase loose women. Nigga, you don't even eat candy or drink soda. Something going on with this motherfucker, yo. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. Something going on with him. Shave off your natural facial hair. Something going on with them. They doing some shit that y'all can't see off them cameras. That you don't even want to know about that they doing because we already know what they doing. Yeah, yeah. I never lied. I'm just telling the truth about that. These individuals are talking about reparations, are not going to get you reparations. They can't. They don't have the ability to. They don't have the ability to get you reparations. Let me find a better way to say this. A bad check is worse than no check. Because a bad check is like you trying to embarrass me. You wanted me to go to the bank, go through all this rigmarole, just for the check to not clear. And to be totally honest with you, the balance is so far in the negative, the next deposit that's planned, you'd have to wait for 10 deposits. And them 10 deposits, there's no telling when they'll all take place. This one is scheduled for this year, and the next one is not scheduled for another 3 years. So you want a check you're gonna have to sit on and wait for that your children. Oh, you got the check. They cut the check, but it's not good for 20 years. What about that? See, I don't want that. I need something I can put in my hands and feel and touch. For sure, for sure. That's why I said tangible. Your boy said tangible before everybody else was talking about tangibles. They know it. Professor Schmuckatelli knows he owes me a steak dinner. I'm owed a steak dinner, a lamb dinner, nigga, with yams and fresh spinach, right, with the little pickled red onions and all that. You know what I'm talking about? Drizzled in a little balsamic. You know what I mean? And I want my lamb well done. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, yeah. With a glass of the finest red wine. That's what I'm owed by these dudes. At least I'm owed at least two of those. But they won't say that. These niggas done been able to misappropriate the black funds that they've been getting. See, they've been getting thousands of dollars unabated. They get mad when people donate on YouTube. They do. But you know why those people donate on YouTube? Because they're not gonna not give the platform their piece. That's how you keep the ball rolling. That's how you keep this thing going. That's why YouTube demonetizes those channels like that, because they're always trying to find a way to get YouTube out the middle. All we do, we put ads on the channel so that no, nigga, that's not enough. We create and provide an ability for you to say what you say, to spew whatever you're gonna spew. That's why I don't ask for no money. That's why I don't monetize the channel. So none of that. The channel never has to blow up like that. Because when I start doing what I'm gonna do, it's the real life thing. It's the for real thing. It's not trying to make a movie. Mm-mm. The study, I can sit down with somebody for 10 minutes and give them $20, and then maybe after that they're like, "Man, I'm ready to give you a whole hour for free." How about that? Perfect. Perfect. Right. They be like, "You want to cook a meal and let me tell you my story for real?" Got you. Cornbread, some fried chicken, some macaroni, some greens or some cabbage, right? Maybe even baked chicken because some people don't like fried chicken. Yeah, and let them tell their story, their real life story, because that's what needs to be done. That's what needs to be done. I need to just stand up for the wrongs that are done. I need to stand up against them, but I need to stand up for the people that the wrongs are done against too. It's cruel and unjust to put someone in a room with a concrete slab or whatever slab, a metal slab with no thing. It's cruel and it's unjust. And it only invites and it only encourages and enables recidivism. Recidivism is the act of recommitting criminal offenses. Recidivism is at an all-time high. This is why the crime rate continues to go up. It's not because of the lax bail. It's not because of any of that. It's because of the treat. If you've never done a day in the hole, it's very difficult to explain to you. Locking you in your room in your home doesn't do it justice. You need to be in a building that has recycled air, that has recycled water. So when you defecate in this toilet, you don't and you wash your hands with this water, you're wondering how much of this water is recycled. To what degree is it purified? You have people in these units for weeks, months at a time sometimes. Now, typically when they're in there for months, they're an inmate who is allowed certain uh they give them certain things, like give them a book or two or whatever, right? Because truth be told, they could never imagine being in there. They can say, "Oh, we lock all of our people." Do you lock them up with the inmates, or do you lock them up amongst yourselves? Because being locked up amongst yourselves is not the same. Right on? You all are going to get out. You're being paid for this experience. Put them in there with regular people so they can hear the stories. Put them in a regular nasty ass cell so they can see the conditions and let them to understand this is what you subject people to. This is what you're asking people to endure. And then go back out into society and act as if this didn't happen to them. That's not a deterrent. If anything, it's a deterrent to never go back, but then that's by all means necessary. By any means. By all means. See, you create violent offenders like that. When the guys in the movies say they're never going back, they're not talking about regular prison and being on the yard. They're talking about never going back to solitary confinement. Let that be said here. Never, ever, ever give up. Never quit and never surrender. If you comply with yourself and yourself only. You are not complying with the laws of the land. You are complying with yourself to preserve self. There is no other force that you will comply with other than yourself. That is the lesson for today. Because a man who obeys chooses to obey merely because he chooses to comply with self. You are in charge. You are in control. And that is what this is about. Until you realize that the Most High God will not manifest himself until you choose to do the things that you know to do, which are right, it will never happen. He will never manifest. The Spirit of the Most High God, the Creator of all things, will never manifest. No reason to. There's no encouragement to. They would rather you be a dead lion than a living dog. Believe that. With that said, brothers and sisters, I salute you. I salute you again. And I salute you once more for all my brothers over there across the pond. And I say this, just because you are down and out does not mean you have given up, quit, or surrendered. Yea, it means you are still alive. Continue to fight, brothers and sisters, because the only easy day was yesterday.